This is the good content. 2 months into the new year and we're already bombarded by a tsunami of devastating news.
World War III is beginning to trend on social media.
Talk there about the wildfires that have devastated parts of Australia.
The coronavirus emergency.
We had fire, we almost had World War, and now we have a disease that is spreading like crazy. The whole thing is just messed up. But how does our brain deal with all of this? It's simple. It just stops caring. Today, we want to talk about becoming desensitized to the world around us, how it works, and how it killed one of the biggest TV shows of the past decade. Right now, we're living in a 24-hour news cycle, where everything is breaking news and any development is considered attention-worthy. Most of our news media works on an advertisement-based business model. So over-dramatizing everything is the only way to keep the audience hooked and their attention strained. The news media fights for your attention, and the only way they can get it is to treat everything like the most important thing in the world, and moving on from topic to topic as fast as possible. In this ecosystem, nothing sticks, everything is overanalyzed, and anything is deemed critical. So what this does is that it forces you to move on from one issue to another before you had proper time to deal with it, and in the long term, it creates something called compassion fatigue. Now, compassion fatigue was originally discovered in 1992 by Dr. Charles Figley. He defined it as the emotional and physical burden created by caring for others in distress. This term originally applied to nurses and doctors who after a while started to become desensitized to the pain their patients were going through, but it soon moved beyond that scope. Compassion fatigue now involves anyone and everyone who's irritated and frustrated by this, and is seeking a form of disconnect from everything as a result. It is caused by the constant news flashes and the bombardment of breaking news. It has made our brain numb to all the crises going on around the globe, and has made us, the people, dispassionate towards the potential next crisis. It's like having a browser with a million tabs open. All those tabs might be important to some extent, but after a while, you just don't care anymore. You just want to close it and start fresh. You're burned out. But what does this have anything to do with good storytelling? Although this might come as a shock to you, but even the news we consume is a form of story, a true story, and being burned out by it makes it not a good story. Let's forget about that for a while. Our brain has this funny quirk of not being able to distinguish what is real and what is not. So just like how compassion fatigue applies to both nurses dealing with constant trauma and people watching the news at their home, it also applies to people watching, reading, or even listening to fiction. Yes, compassion fatigue also works for fictional things, and that's where the story gets interesting. When we consume content in any form, our brain starts a process. It creates a blank slate for the universe we set into. Whether this is a YouTube channel, a movie, or a TV show, we go in with the benefit of the doubt, willing to give this new project a chance to prove itself and capture our interest. Sure, with the constant bombardment of social media, this blank slate is a bit skewed, but overall, we're still willing to try and be impressed. Our initial instinct is to trust and let the new world welcome us. And here's the tricky part. A good story is like a drug. It has to be consumed in a controlled amount, otherwise the audience will overdose on it. If you give the viewer too much, it will overwhelm their senses. It would max out their information intake and it would burn them out. Just take a look at the show The Walking Dead. Now, when Walking Dead premiered in 2010, it became an instant hit for AMC. A show about a mysterious world infected by zombie disease and a group of ordinary people trying to survive within it. The show had gore, zombies, human emotions, and anything else you can ask for. And the fact that none of the characters were safe from imminent death made it even more thrilling to watch. Walking Dead is about zombies. It's about a world infested with them and the constant struggle of breaking free and away from their existence. But there's only so much zombie killing one can take. If the concept of Rick fighting one zombie was scary to us in the first episode, after constantly seeing these creatures each time more than before, we start to get used to it, and we stop caring about it. Walking Dead overplayed their zombie cards too soon, and after a short time, they just became part of the environment, much like trees or even a deer. The audience simply didn't care anymore. Another one of Walking Dead tropes was killing the main characters when you didn't expect it to. Shane in Season 1, Sophia in Season 2, Lori in Season 3, and even Herschel in Season 4. Death of the main characters was an inseparable part of the series, and to some extent, what made it so good. But with these deaths, something started to happen. Death of every character devalued the concept of danger in the show. It lessened the strength of suspense and normalized the concept of dying for every remaining character, especially anyone who had a less permanent role than the ones already dead. The suspense and the constant danger surrounding the world helped peak the popularity of the show every season until it hit an all-time high of near 15 million viewers for Season 5. But after that, viewers stopped caring. They knew the gimmick, and they simply didn't sympathize with the idea of death in the show. Because it had so much of it, they became desensitized. They were burned out. Now the show's reaction to this was easy. To give them bigger shocks. To kill... or even to kill Rick himself, supposedly. They opted those, not knowing that this is even worse for the show in the long run. The premiere of Season 10 had only 4 million viewers, which is a drastic decrease from the glory days of the show, and goes further to show what desensitization does to your audience. Although it's fair to say that this is not the only reason people are bailing the Walking Dead hype train. Uninteresting characters, overplayed tropes, corny story arcs, and story for the sake of subverting expectations are all to blame here. But desensitizing the audience plays an important role in all of these faults and contributes to the bigger picture that is the fall of one of TV's once greatest hits. But Walking Dead is not the only content that falls into this trap. Famous sequels such as Matrix Part 2 and 3, repetitive shows such as Supernatural, Vampire Diaries, even Dexter, and many other projects just as easily fell prey to compassion fatigue. They played their cards too soon, and because of that, they tried the rest of their run to recapture their former glory. But while it is easy to play your hand too soon, fly close to the sun and burn out fast, it's also not impossible to play close to the chest and slowly, step by step, hypnotize the audience and hook them in. In the next episode of The Good Content, we will go through Marvel's cinematic universe to understand the magic of the slow release and how it can prevent the curse of compassion fatigue. So subscribe to our channel and hit that bell button to be notified when that video goes up. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.